And if you don't know how to subscribe, you have to have a Google account. You got to go into Google and you go, I want a Google account. And then they want your email address, and then they want you to fill out a couple of little deals, have a password, and there you go. Then you can go in and subscribe to YouTube channel.
To your heart's content.
You can subscribe to anybody you want.
I got it on tape, I believe. Or them saying they hired crack addicts to do that work.
Our 1952 Greyhound bus. It's in a paint booth for buses at ABC Bus in Grand Prairie, Texas. Now we hired them to blast all the paint off of our bus, put bay windows in it, front windows or side windows. You'll see. We'll show you all that, and put a power plant in it, and we'll show you that. And they put air cans on the bus, and checked out they needed to put some air hoses on it. They did that. Pulled up and opened the door, and they were supposed to use peanut shells, and they used, unbeknownst to me, they used baking soda. So I, not knowing what that was, and there was inside of the bus and on the wiring and on the steering wheel, and I don't know if you can see that, but it was just a foot deep inside. Well, I ran inside and I was pissed. Didn't know what that was. It didn't look good to me. They didn't mask anything off. So I ran inside and I talked to the guy, the manager out there, and said, what the hell is that? And he said, well, we use soda. Or not soda, but we use soda. I said, well, you're supposed to use walnut shells, crushed walnut shells. He said, well, we couldn't get any. So we did that. I said, well, that's going to ruin my wiring, which it ended up doing, by the way, and we'll talk to you about that. They cut the bay windows out, and they did some body work on it. There's the engine at the time, what it looked like.
There's our dad. He bought that bus in 1971 or 2.
Yeah.
Hello everybody, this is Mike Long and Fixing It with the Long Brothers. Welcome to video in the series of many to come. And today I'm talking about how to wire, or what I wired in a 1952 Silverside Greyhound bus, a PD 4103 with a 671 Detroit diesel engine. So enjoy that and subscribe if you wish. I will answer some questions and enjoy this video. Children, as you can see, there's a lot of wires in here. If you can look right here, blinker arm assembly.
Turn it.
What?
Turn it.
Well, I don't have to plug that.
Not? Yeah, it is.
Well, that was back there. The whole system wasn't working in the old bus, and so we couldn't figure it out, so I just rewired the whole thing.
All this is going to be in covered panels, right?
Oh, yeah.
All labeled.
I've already labeled them.
All right, that's good.
They're all labeled with labeled printer.
What's the date?
Today?
I'm not
28th or 29th of April, 2012. 29th of April.
Sunday. Mom and Dad are watching the Rangers play. All right.
Hello everybody.
All right.
Right now you're looking at some pictures of the black bus, and what that is it was primered black by me and Mike, and we sanded and masked off the whole bus. And also on there is a picture of the cans, air cans for the brakes, and also a regulator that we had to replace because the baffle and the thing was leaking air so real bad it was losing all kinds of air. So I hope you subscribe, and we're done with this one.
Mike,
What are you doing, Terry?
cleaning this switch.
What is it?
A light.
For the bus.
For the bus.
Show me the back of it. What is all that white stuff?
Soda.
Soda blushing. It's 1952 Greyhound Bus. We're going to show, we're going to renovate, clean up, fix, make them work. They don't work. But everything on a 1952 Greyhound Bus can be fixed, can be redone with a little bit of elbow grease.
A lot of elbow grease.
Cleaning. And then Mike is cleaning out the contact points.
The little ball bearings. Brass.
Little brass ball bearings.
This fits in there. And then that ball, when you pull this back, it goes back there and then it flips over the top of that and it connects them.
Contact.
So, and that's what turns it on.
1952 Greyhound.
Mike working on the permit.
Running for days. My body won't stop 'cause I know what it takes. Break every wall, wanna feel them fall. Oh, running for days. My body won't stop 'cause I know what it takes. Break down the door, I wanna feel the pain. You can't stop me. Even in the shadows, I got my glow. I'm young and forever is all I
Are you enjoying this trip, Mom? Why not? Dad, are you having fun?
What?
Are you having fun?
Am I having what?
Fun.
Fun, yeah. I'm having a hilarious time.
Pam, are you having fun?
I am. Yes, I am. Yeah, she's sound asleep. Yeah, stretch.
That was good.
There's Alizé right here. She's down there. She is down on the floor.
It's not bad. It's not.
Say hi. Driving down the highway. Driving old bus, got his head on the wheel. And leave. Recording.
I don't need my face all over the internet. And people ask for autographs.
Well, it won't go on the internet unless you put it on there, you dum-dum. You big dummy.
It's going to get out there. It'll get out there.
How's it going to get out there?
Because I'm going to put it out there.
Well, you can take this part off.
I have to.
Okay, we're in Redding, California right now with Leon Smith and his mechanic, and drove all the way out here from Dallas. When we left Dallas, we checked the air filters and they were clean. And now look at them, and you can see that there's soda all the way through them. It must have went into all the inside of the air jacks into the...
Plug solid.
Blew our engine up, and oil was leaking everywhere, and Leon can tell you about that. Leon's been a mechanic for many, many years on Detroit diesels.
Therefore, it knocked the rings right out of the pistons, and and there's no compression hardly. So how it could run out here is beyond me. It's air cleaner's heavy because it's just packed solid. It couldn't get no air. So it's really wrecked the engine.
So what are you going to be doing to it now, Leon? You got the... Come over here and...
We got the pistons and put new cylinder. We have to put new cylinder liners in it, and new rod bearings, main bearings, and overhaul the blower. The blower's got to be overhauled too because it just ate it up. And so the rings are shot and seized the piston up because there was no air. And the top ring is just gusted out. It's just completely dusted like a sand blasting, but it's soda blasting from the. So you can see this ring here that's seized up the piston. Piston been seized up, and it's just lucky. I don't know how it could have ever made it this far, but it did. And so
that's because God was behind us.
I guess so, man. Someone was sure looking after you because it's just unreal that they made it this far.
We have angels around us all the time.
The baking soda is what caused this whole thing.
Okay, Jason, hey, why don't you point things out and say...
Or...
And that's what you have on yours is an air modulator.
Okay.
So you need an air throttle.
It's June 3rd, 2013. Mom and Angel.
I just got through washing dishes. Cleaning the house.
Now she's in a life of luxury. Four-valve head, June 2nd, 2014. Blower, rebuilt, polished up blower, brace. There's the old crank, bought a new crank, bought new everything. Turbo pistons, new cam, new oil cooler, brand new. Transmission that's going in there. We're going to paint this, whatever Allison calls for. Here's a spacer we had to put in there to lengthen it a little bit. Bell housing, motor mounts. Now we're going to, so we had to modify the, whatever you want to call it, where the engine sits. Okay, I'll explain a little bit over here. They're trying to figure out the angle of where the drive line has to go through. As you can see, there's a drive line right there. The hole where the old transmission went through, right here. But this whole frame is going to have to move over right there. Going to have to move over here because we had to move that whole. We had to cut the whole part of that off and move that whole connecting apparatus from here to over here, so the transmission would fit.
That's what I'm getting. I should be doing it.
Tilts this way, it'll get it away from that. Yeah, I think so. I think you about got it. What's the matter, Al? Is that fly bothering you? Get him. Get that fly. What is that, soda? soda coming out of there?
Soda, dirt,
I can see some soda.
mostly soda. This is like the 5th time. We can see it all over the ground.
Look at that.
Yeah, look on the ground there.
I see it.
Have you been up there trying it?
Look at that. Falling all over you. Oh, it's coming out. Wow. Try it over there. Every once in a while, big chunks fall out. Look at it in there on the rear end. Big reef. Okay, go ahead. Look at all that, Leon. That came out of the air filter.
Need to save as much as possible of that, so you can show the cord in case you go to court. The exhaust pipe.
Well, we have those filters that were just clogged too.
No, they was plugged solid. They was. I don't know how to even run out here.
I don't either.
Texas.
Look at that. That's all coated in there. We need to get that out of there somehow.
Getting under the breath. Oh, I'm not blaming him.
Turning better than me. That's what the turning's going to be. Yeah, no, it's bolted in right now. A torque situation. A torque situation.
I haven't seen any. I wouldn't know how to help you.
Right now.
Non-existent I am.
45 minutes, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Half an hour.
Give it. They have to charge by like an hour. And it's to do the to drill the holes. Thing. Had to take the. Ouch. All we did is put these bolts and nuts on, and nuts and
the hole.
nuts and bolts.
I think we can see it.
I don't know if your hand got out of it.
Already did show it anyway.
All right, that's a brace. Now we got to.
June 28th, I believe. Tell me what you're doing, Mike. We're not waiting anymore.
I'm cutting this. I'm going to cut this little out at this angle out of here. I don't know. So I can put this across here like this and try to get that in there.
Spin. Yeah, just like that. And then we'll build a brace right here.
I want to get that in there.
And added metal to it.
Heated it up and put it on that machine, did you? But then they lengthened this one and welded this where they bent it. Puts a weld on it.
It depends if you put so much of an angle on here, we're going to reinforce it by putting channel iron in through here. I'm bending it in there and then welding it in. And same thing on the other side. What, 6 or 4 inches?
So the
64 inches.
Allison V7 automatic transmission.
6 inches, I believe, Jason. I think it's 6 inches you moved it over.
Yeah.
Just heated this bar brace up so it would fit. So this is very hot right now. Anyway, they heated it up so it would fit in place.
brace in there. Let's see if that's strong enough. That right there. Looks like you got the bent the pieces in there and just like you bolted them in.
We went ahead and put these extra parts in here and these 2 bolts just to make it stronger. And I got everything placed in here and put the big bolts back here into this holster. And then I put the one in this holster. These 2 bolts here and these 2 bolts here are grade 10. So this should last for a long, long time.
And the idea that behind this whole thing is that it moves a little bit.
Yes.
So those are hinge pins in the
Walks
back.
like this, very little.
Yeah, in the back. We bent these, the pins that go into the brace, to hook it in there. Right?
Nothing.
I think that fits in there good.
I think it fits great.
Even filming.
Plenty of fucking room.
Oh,
I knew there would be.
I could see
8
that.
inches, isn't there?
Shit.
10 inches.
From the driveline to that cross piece that I put in this morning is a good 6 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Put this piece on there.
Yep.
That little piece.
Bolts here, one here, one here.
July 18th, 2014. Grinded some of these welds off. He cut this little piece right here. Drilled 2 holes. Cut that and angled it a little bit. And it is going to go up here like this. Anyway, heated up this brace. So he just heated it there so it would sit flat against that and bent that. Well, he did that since he's been here.
But we had to re-brace all this up. In fact, it was over here. We moved it over here 6 inches. And we still got access to get to our bell housing motor mount. Over here, put a piece of metal in here and fill this back in and weld it back up. Cut it out so the chain that we're going to be putting in that cradle there will fit. And after cutting it out, we had to put pieces of angle iron up there, all the way up to here, all the way back to here. Cut slices in the side so we can weld all the way across there. And it should be strong.
And you put it,
and, yeah,
sleeved it kind of.
I beat it to where it came clear down here to the end.
Onto this brace. You're going to put a piece right here.
Yeah, I'm going to.
7/15/2014. Hi, Mama. Primered the transmission gray. Now I'm gonna paint it green. Painted and polished the fan. It's gonna look real nice. So we got all the buffing tools. There's the shutters. Leon got up early this morning and put on the jakes.
Mike, we need to talk to him about this money situation. We're going to have, we need to run this damn engine after I get all everything on here to make sure it's going to run all right.
July 25th, 2014. Jason here is going to walk through what some of the stuff is and what they've done here in the last day or so.
Well, we basically cleaned up and rebuilt these jake heads. We put them on, torqued them down, 90 foot-pounds. Yesterday we were going through and running the rack. We were doing the valves and the injectors. If I remember right, the valves are 12 and the injectors are...
Too many days in the darkness without a glimpse of the light. Running tired and broken and scared, but I swear I'll never give up the fight. I see you broken and beat, head pulled down over your eyes. Every part of you wants to surrender, but darling, you were meant to survive.
filming?
Hello, children. We are going to move our engine today, and we're going to put it in our garage. And there's the radiator we had rebuilt. I'm just going to unloosen these. I'm not
going to take all those wires off so they don't wrap around it. Just really little bit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Because we're just putting it in the right there.
I can extend the forks out and you can just move these things over as we need to.
Western truck and tractor repair.
You run shotgun.
We rent Mike to level that.
That was a 12, I think. It was big.
It was
That guy, we were out doing some work on our property.
And what we got here is we're going to hook this up and get this started on the ground. Here to here to here to here to here to here. And then from here it goes in the engine. And then from here it goes here. And then back to the tank.
Got our adapter, our $500 adapter.
You can try it.
Sandpaper to it. Here. And that would be to there. See if that lines up. It does. That's our well water from the new well we put in.
Blow this off. Let me explain.
I think the spring's the wrong spring. It hangs up when you hook it up. Oh, I see what's the matter with it. It's a little bent.
Yeah. That's what I...
When we do air throttle, this goes away. And let's see your cylinder for your air throttle.
Yeah, you want to go look at that?
Absolutely. But that's the air modulator there.
So we need the air throttle is what we need.
You need the cylinder for it. Well, if it ain't broke, well, you don't want to know what that costs.
What does it cost?
I just picked one out of the weeds to put on a motor here the other day, and it was just $3,500.
That? Really?
And then you got to be able to get it first. Yeah, that's the same flywheel that's on an 871. That thing weighs 200 pounds. You guys probably put it on there, right?
Yep. I helped Leon put the bolts on and everything.
So each one of these levers is over $100 bill.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, that was years ago. Oh, lock washers. No lock washers on any of that crap. You can order that manifold without that.
I didn't know, and that's what they sent me.
Yeah, they're glad to sell them because they that's where the shutdown system goes in that hole, and it runs water around it, and then when there's no water there, then it heats up that probe and does the shutdown system and shuts the engine off, saves it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I think they should have put that on all these buses, all of them. See, and I can take lock washers off and throw them away down here.
We had to change this one time. Little spindle thing. Right?
The old GMC trucks, that's where they mounted the generator. And I'm going to bet if you go back far enough on the bus, you'll find that some of them had the generators on this corner. And it just bolts right on.
You were telling me that they do that because this spins faster.
It's twice engine speed. So if it's idling at 1,000, this is turning 2,000. Fuel lines are too little.
Well, I'll just have to get some different.
We'll redo that.
Where's what?
Where's the fuel tank in the coach in the front? in the back. Oh, okay, it's clear up in the front.
It's between the first bay and the. See it there? You can barely see it.
Yeah, I'll look at it later.
That's where it is. And you were asking me about the fuel line? The line that's kind of hanging down right there?
Good.
Yeah, I know.
Very good.
That's good, right?
That's
Dad did that. Goes over a bolt.
yeah, but
Right there.
Goes over that way.
Yep. See, my dad was thinking.
He had some pretty good ideas here. I'm impressed.
That's what you're doing than what I'm doing.
And in case you need to know, these white paper gaskets, those are asbestos. There's something in there.
There's a return line to the transmission.
Well, there's no threads in it yet.
Something like that. I remember
Yeah, okay.
Ted was saying that you had to have that.
Yeah, that's a weird housing. That is a weird housing.
That's what we got.
Goes with that transmission.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Oh! I'll be darned. It was the transmission that we kept moving.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That same deal, and I'm thinking I'm going to cut off about half of that flywheel. Top on it, so that's cool.
If they turned the engine, though, you wouldn't know what top was, would you?
That'd be bottom as much as it is top then.
Yeah.
You screw them in there like that, put a little glue on them, tighten them up, and it doesn't leak oil. Hit it.
Yeah, some unrounded.
Oh, they hit it right here on the edge, so this wouldn't go on it.
Oh, so you
It made it kind of difficult.
Alright, just talking to the microphone. What are you doing, Joe?
I am
You're tearing everything apart.
yeah, I'm fixing an oil leak. This plug, there's these drain holes here for when the seals go bad in the pump. So I'm going to move it to the outside so you can see where it is, what's going on. And if you don't like it, you can put a little hose on it and drain it on the ground or in a bucket. And then I'm going to take that bushing out of that so that we can put a bigger fitting in like it needs to have in it. You don't know.
I'm imagining.
Because what happens is, if you buy the factory made Williams air throttle setup, it just bolts right on there and it works. All you got to do is adjust it. If they don't have the one that goes on this, then you got to get elaborate and make a bunch of stuff. I think that pressure relief's got the wrong spring in it, but we'll have to fire it up and find out. That's a pressure regulator and the main relief's here, but this one's the one I'm worried about the wrong spring in.
Whoa. So that's what you just put in there?
Yeah, that's why I shimmed it, because it wasn't even close to where it was supposed to be. See, and then this has got that little latch there to hook that up to.
Yeah.
So what you do to fix that so it doesn't fall out.
Oh, yeah.
Check all these things to see if they got clearance on them like they're supposed to. That one's got clearance. That one's got clearance.
And this one's in great shape, correct?
Well, this is way newer than the motor, so it's got to be better. This is a starting aid screw, so you can adjust this so when it starts, it doesn't smoke at all.
I'm about dying.
That looks like it's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's a late model Governor, because Jake's going to go through that hole, and then we need a hot wire from the front of the bus to turn this on. Because if you've got the wrong idle spring in them, it'll coil bind and stand up solid. See, this shows lots of end on the screw. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
But you don't know what spring's in it.
Yeah.
So you got to take it apart and look. Because if you don't take it apart and look, you will never know. So that yellow, see the yellow stripes, 2 yellow stripes? That's an odd spring. You don't see that one very often.
Why?
Yeah, it's got the wrong idle spring in it. So they make a yellow one, and a green one, and a blue one. And we really want the blue one. that other thing like with Crosby's deal, when you get all done and set the rack, or go to setting the rack, this thing here can have too much meat, and it actually holds the stop on, which keeps the rack from getting wide open. And lots of people don't check that. I changed the idle speed governor spring in your gizmo here. A little bit more.
Well,
hold on.
or
Oh!
I'll edit that out, okay?
This one's too long. Okay. Comes off the 2-valve motor on it. Yeah, it's the same shit that come off of your
Well,
motor.
then that would be Leon. Either that.
Well, it's the same thing Crosby did to his unit. These rocker arms used to be $6 a piece, rebuilt. They're over 20 something a piece.
Just can't be half-assing shit.
I'm a detail guy, so I'm the guy that's gonna piss and moan about shit for you.
Okay,
Find out how good you are.
I'm trusting you, and I'm going to spend the money. You can put a plaque with your name on it.
Okay, we got to get rid of that. You won't like that. They're single weight. That's a high speed weight. This is the idle weight. And when it comes out and stops, that's where you set the governor gap to this. And then the rest of the throttle control, speed limiting is held by the high speed weight.
I want to be like, when we go down the road and all that stuff, I want to be confident that what's happening back there and all these moving parts, that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
There's no surprises.
No surprises. And
Come on!
And
exhaust rockers off of each one of them. It looks like the injector rocker's got the late rocker in it. See the little foot on the end of the rocker?
Yeah.
That little round foot?
Yeah.
That is 2-valve. That doesn't go in this engine. That's so. See this one leaning off to one side of that rocker?
Yeah.
Or the bridge?
Okay, so
That's not a good deal. It'll run without a governor. But I can get it running again. When you get into N-series injectors, it takes a different rocker. There's more meat in the rocker. This has got the old stuff in it, though. The only reason that's in there, the only reason Detroit put that in the motors, is because they're you don't have to have it running to set this. I've gone through this. I've went through that melted down blower crap before. It seized the blower. It set a record, world record, and then it seized the blower up, and we got it back to the lowboy to haul it home. And I had to take the blower off the motor so we could load it. Put a blower on it so it started to run. If it had a set of 80s in it, it would be a 300 horse engine. It would be the same as an 871, and it would do anything you wanted it to do.
I've got a 2-valve
rockers.
head rod rockers.
Yeah.
And
single weight governor.
And a single weight governor, which we're going to have to take care of, and we don't know if there's going to be enough clearance in the blower to handle a 500 degree temperature, 400 degree temperature.
Well, it needs to handle a significant amount of temperature, because if it runs like it's supposed to run, it'll be a problem.
Well, it probably will run that way.
Mostly 8V92s will put 400 horse on the ground, and there isn't anybody's other motor that's stock that'll do that. Cat won't do it. Cummins won't do it. Cummins won't even come close, and that's why we sold a lot of 92s in those years and put everybody second fiddle.
Make your dream machine. Make it. And then I want you to put a plaque with your name on it.
He just
on this engine.
Started out like a bomb.
Hey Joe, can you catch us up what you've done this morning?
Like that.
Yeah.
Make a slot out of it instead of multiple round holes.
Because of the turbo. sucks it in the gray line. I'm sorry. So sorry.
So
this is this week's episode.
yes.
We put ours on right, didn't we?
Yeah, because I was looking at the manual. It just froze up. He said there's something about the bearings or something in here got all twinged out.
Yeah.
Looks
So
like
we just got to rebuild
See.
the one that they sold us for $400,
Yeah.
and
See those ones with
pay you to fix that.
Yeah.
So this is going to be fucking expensive, right?
he said he can knock the pins out of it and get it to work.
We have to do everything 4 or 5 times. Next thing to check is the fuel pump.
See, there's a cross between. This one's got a combination. I think it's got low compression pistons, and we don't know how they timed it in a gear train. Anything good in it either. It'll still run. Find top dead center on this. Well, we're gonna check the gear train timing in it to make sure that it's find out where it is, because it doesn't even want to run hardly. Get it idling, and I'm going to stick the screwdriver in here, and when that plunger goes down I'm going to hold it so it stays down, and we'll see which one of these injectors or 2 of these injectors is bad. Puts the balance weights out of time, because standard time the balance weights are lined up all the way through the motor, so when it turns everything works out in the same spot. Well, when you advance time it, then it gets out of balance and it'll start bucking. Well, what they did in the late 70s, early 80s, they took them and advanced the cam. So the cam was advanced, but the timing on the motor was standard. And a lot of guys will go in and take a motor that's got that advanced cam in it and give it a tooth. So you're 2 teeth advanced. And at 50,000 miles, all the rings are blowed out the exhaust. Seen it done a bunch of times.
So what are you saying? That
But
this one's been
the rock end to end, maybe the flywheel that's on it's out of balance. That can be what's wrong with that. I don't like seeing that great big flywheel on there, because if you put that in a V8, it'll just rip the back of that block out of it. It'll kill it.
Oh.
And I think because they sold most of them to municipalities, they were tickled, because every time they took one apart, oh, you need a new block. And they'd sell them a new block and a crank and all that shit.
Sorry.
Got his tail a little bit. Well, I can overhaul it.
smells rich.
When life gets heavy, I get light as a feather, changing my mind like the the Indian weather. Say a prayer for me tonight. Maybe I'm doing better, but it's gonna take a little time. It takes a little time, and I can hear the lonely night sing. I can hear the lonely night sing. My cold heart's turning as these headlights are burning down this highway. I can hear the lonely night sing. Well, 25 arrived in the blink of an eye, and I'm still just trying to figure out how to walk that fine line. But life's just too short not to try the best you can. So I'm gonna let go of who I was and find out who I am. And I can hear the lonely night sing. I can hear the lonely night sing. My cold heart's turning as these headlights are burning down this highway. I can hear the lonely night sing. Saw a pale reflection, could have sworn it wasn't me, but I don't trust my recollection. With eyes too tired to see, and a cold heart that's dying to be set free. And down this empty highway, I can hear the lonely night sing. I can hear the lonely night sing. I can hear the lonely night sing. My cold heart's turning as these headlights are burning down this highway. I can hear the lonely night sing. I can hear the lonely night sing. I can hear the lonely night sing. I can hear the lonely night sing.